What's up, everyone? How you doing? It's time for a review video of Niobe Labs. Oh boy, I bet you're excited about it. I am. I'm so excited. I'm over here frothing about it. So, Niobe Labs was released on Tuesday. It was finally solved yesterday. Before we go any further, I would like to make this statement very obvious. I think that it's super cool for every other raid race to recognize the first fire team through. I feel like in this particular situation, the first fire team through was the entire Destiny community, led by the Raid Secrets. Raid Secrets subreddit. Niobe Labs was a incredible intellectual challenge for a lot of people, myself included. And apparently it was unsolvable, or there was a missing hint, which is why it was solved almost immediately after Bungie released that yesterday. But I wanted to talk about, I wanted to do a review of Niobe Labs. Okay, so the premise of Niobe Labs, we'll start from the very beginning because that's what I always do, is that all these other forges have been opened and there have been secrets contained therein, all solved by puzzles. Now, these various puzzles have had all sorts of different cryptography attached to them, whether it was, letter switch ciphers or cylinder ciphers or, God, you name it. There's probably some sort of, it might have covered absolutely every different kind of basic encryption cipher that you could really think of. And all this was, generated a lot of hype. It was really fun. And then Niobe Labs launched and nobody really knew what it was going to be. A lot of people thought it was going to be a dungeon, and then Bungie's like, it's not a dungeon. It is actually a community event. And as a community event, I would say that its goal was accomplished very well in that it forced the entire community to work together. Being in the middle of it, it was really interesting for me to watch everyone racing and then suddenly realizing that it was not going to be enough to work alone. We all were going to have to work together. So I feel like that was actually a very fantastic moment. The challenge inside the labs is fantastic. I like the idea of interspersing multiple waves of enemies that you have to fight through in order to unlock the doors or do each different wave of the puzzle. I think that's fun. Mixing intellectual engagement with combat's fantastic. It's also exhausting. I would say that Niobe Labs was the equivalent of a 4-day vault attempt inside of Last Wish. Now, the goal of this was to unlock this forge, which, as you can see, is now unlocked. But Niobe Labs was, in a lot of ways, really awesome. It is great in bringing everybody together. The misstep, I think, was that the puzzle that was designed was either too complicated, which is saying a lot considering the combined intellectual brain power of the 60,000+ people on the Raid Secret subreddit, blazingly intelligent individuals like Datto and T-Rex. And of course, I think T-Rex is the smartest because he's my brother, and you can shit post about that if you want. But if you don't rep your family, you're a piece of shit. But listen, let me make my jokes. So you get into the labs, you have to solve all these puzzles with repeating waves of enemies. The wave combat was interesting. The fact that they would section off this room with shields is really kind of cool. The only real issue was the fact that there wasn't a lot of direction in the last two puzzles. So I'll talk about those, and I'll talk about what I think could have been different. So the final two puzzles, the first one was a kind of copy paste of, and we'll see if I have, not a copy paste, it was a redistribution of information, I should say, of thought I had it downloaded and I don't, of a puzzle that was earlier in the game, where we all had to find out and assign, numerical values to jewels on a sword sheath, you know, big thing. So you add up those numbers and you get the name of a forest. So everyone's first attempt was obviously to come over here and use their use the Spiteful Fang. Not Spiteful Fang. Yeah, there it is. You know, and like, oh well, forest. Well, there's trees right there. And then, oh, maybe I'll stand on what I'm supposed to. This is, you know, the house symbol. So I'll stand on Monarch and I'll shoot trees. And that wasn't it. And then the community proceeded to go down this gigantic rabbit hole of Arthurian legend and what happened in that forest and trying all sorts of various things. But the actual solution to this puzzle was to have everyone stand on the Monarch together and shoot trees together. Now, one could argue that inside of the story of that tree that the knights gather there, but that would be just as insane a guess as anything else. So for puzzle 6, I think that maybe a little bit more information involving collecting or gathering would have helped a lot. It didn't have to be obvious, but something like gather trees or whatever might have helped things along his way. And then we had this puzzle. So the final puzzle was the 3 swords of the 3 houses with different elements standing there. Now, when we were doing attempts, we were looking at kind of everything that was possible. So we looked at the 3 different sword hilts, and we looked at legendary swords forged by the 3 different houses and trying to spell the names of those, and then trying to you know, okay, well, there's 3 symbols and you get special ammo at the end. So maybe everyone's supposed to stand on the sniper spots and shoot different stories involving these swords, all this other stuff. Well, the reality was, the answer to this was everyone was supposed to, and I still can't believe this, shoot the symbols with a weapon you can't see them with that matches the elements of these swords. So basically, you know, if you were over here, you were supposed to stand on Monarch, shoot trees and missive, but with a void weapon, and then stand on Daybreak, and then shoot heart, trees, wings, apparently. All of that with the void weapon you can't see. Now, there is no way, and there were no indications throughout the entire puzzle. There were no indications. I'll let you see this because I didn't realize I had that image up. There were no indications throughout the entire puzzle that you were supposed to use weapons that you couldn't see with. In fact, as far as I'm aware, this is the first and only time you were requested to shoot something without being able to see it inside of these puzzles with weapons that you can't see. It was community knowledge that you weren't even able to interact with these symbols unless you could see them. So the fact that there wasn't more information included either along the way or, you know, once people were in the shit is kind of surprising to me. Now, Bungie has said that there was a string of data that was not included. Whether or not it wasn't included intentionally or it wasn't included by accident, or there was data that wasn't coded into the game, that hint existing for less than an hour allowed the community to solve this almost immediately on their first or second attempt, because the answer became painfully obvious when certain words were mentioned, like invisible. So I think going forward, 2 things that Bungie needs to be incredibly careful of are, if you're going to create a complex puzzle, do not lock paid content behind the wall. And I think that they did a great job resolving that, because they took a step back, and after 36 hours they opened the forge for everyone. I think that was fantastic. I think it was a smart business move by them. Leaving Niobe Labs is like a side quest or just changing the order of you open the forge and then you can do the labs is a smart idea. And 2, if you're going to make puzzles in the game, please, 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 for the love of God, please, 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 put all of the necessary information to solve the puzzle in the game. Because if you leave out information in a puzzle, you leave out the ability for the individual to have enough information and agency to solve the puzzle. So there you go. That's my review / critique of Niobe Labs. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm Professor Broman. If you want to, you can check out all the other cool stuff we've been doing on YouTube. If you missed our Kingdom Hearts playthrough, we got that going. Got Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 showing up on the YouTube channel right now. Check those out. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace.